Do you want to develop iOS apps that connect to hardware devices like this one that I built, where I was able to control a pan and tilt cannon using my iPhone? If so, then stay tuned, because in this series, I'm going to be teaching you how to build iPhone apps that talk to real devices over Bluetooth. We'll be using Swift, SwiftUI, Xcode, and the Swift framework core Bluetooth in order to connect our iPhone app to an ESP32. But you could also use an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or whatever you want. This is the first episode in this Fundamentals series where we're going to look at the basic principles of core Bluetooth that you need to understand before you should write a single line of core Bluetooth code. If you don't know the differences between a central and a peripheral, or how the delegate callback structure works, then you're just going to be so confused going forward. So let's dive into this lesson and get cracking. All right, let's jump into core Bluetooth part 1 or lesson 1, where we're just going to run through some core concepts. Our lesson plan for today is basically just to define the central and peripheral and understand what the difference between those is. I also want to run through a couple of key objects, attributes, and methods that are used in core Bluetooth and look at what those are and why we use them and how we use them. And finally, we need to understand the delegate callback pattern, because this design pattern is used throughout all of core Bluetooth. So if you don't understand that, you're going to be cooked. So let's jump into these. So let's come down here to our first key point, and the first thing you need to learn when learning about core Bluetooth, which is the difference between a central device and a peripheral device. So a central device is essentially going to represent your iPhone. That is this. A peripheral device is essentially going to represent your ESP32 or your hardware, whether Raspberry Pi, Arduino, whatever it is. It's going to represent that Bluetooth device, that hardware device that you're actually connecting to. So it's honestly pretty simple. The central uses data for tasks, whether that's on-device computations or showing it to the user, whatever. That's your iOS device, whether that's an iPhone, an iPad, or a Mac. One example is maybe you'll be displaying temperature captured by some Bluetooth thermometer. Then the iOS is going to be responsible for scanning for peripherals with desired data. It's going to be responsible for making that connection. It's going to be responsible for listening to information coming from the BLE device, for sending data, and it's also going to be responsible for requesting data. So the central kind of runs everything, and the peripheral is essentially the device that has the data that's needed. It's the BLE external device, such as a thermostat, as we were talking about before. It is going to, in this example, it gets and emits that temperature, and essentially it advertises its presence and it advertises the data it has. So in this connection flow that we'll see in a few minutes, the difference between these two things in terms of their responsibilities, you want to think about the central as kind of your source of truth, as your commander-in-chief. The peripheral just says, hey, I'm here, whereas the central finds it and sends a connection request, right? The peripheral is never going to connect to the iPhone. That would be a massive security violation, and iOS just won't allow us to do that. Anyway, so I think you guys get the point here. Let's move on. So 4 key objects in core Bluetooth. There are other objects that you'll need to learn about eventually, but for now we're going to stick with just these 4 for the basics. So first, you have your CBCentralManager. So this is the programmatic object that is responsible for managing the central device, or as we said before, the iPhone. So it has 2 key properties that you want to worry about. One is the state. So that's going to tell you what is the state of your iOS device's Bluetooth capabilities or behaviors. So we have those values down here. Basically, the values you can take on is unknown, means it's probably some kind of error, resetting, unsupported, unauthorized, powered off, or powered on. So obviously powered off, powered on, those are in your settings, and you're toggling your Bluetooth. I don't know if you can see that. That's going to be your powered on, powered off. Unsupported is maybe they have an old device that isn't capable of Bluetooth. Unauthorized, it's going to be, let's say you forgot to request permissions in your plist, which is very important. You got to make sure you're requesting permissions in your plist, and I'll show you guys that as well. That's going to be unauthorized, and then resetting unknown are kind of out of our control for the most part, but those are possibilities, and you'll probably not see those too often. So that's the state of that CB manager, and then the delegate is another object that we're going to look at in a second. Now you have a couple of key methods that a CBCentralManager can use. This is going to be scan for peripherals with services, stop scan, connect, scan peripheral connection, and retrieve peripherals with identifiers. This is basically all of those behaviors of saying, hey, this is a Bluetooth powered iPhone device, and these are all the behaviors it needs to scan and connect to peripherals. And that's essentially what the Central Manager is responsible for managing. And we'll dive deeper into each of those functions as we need them. Now, we also have the CBPeripheral, which is the programmatic object that represents your peripheral, such as this here ESP32. What properties does it have? It has a name. Now, that name is going to need to be synchronized between your Swift code and the name that your device is actually projecting or advertising it has. Right, so these properties, they need to be unified between your Swift code and your Arduino, your ESP32 code. And again, we'll get into that later. So what are your properties? You have your name, which is a string. You have some identifier, which is a UUID. You have state, which down here we have a couple of states that are possible. You have disconnected, connecting, connected, and disconnecting, right? Pretty self-explanatory. And then you actually have a peripheral delegate. Again, we'll get into that in a second. And here are the methods that a CB peripheral has. So we have discoverServices. That's going to be essentially saying on the iPhone device, we have our programmatic representation of our ESP32. We're going to go and discover the services for that device, right? So this is still happening on the phone. We're just using this to represent the BLE device, right? So we're going to discover that device's services. We're going to discover its characteristics. We're going to read value for, which is basically saying, hey, tell me what this value is on this device. Write value or set notify value. And again, we'll get more into depth on what each of these are in future episodes. Finally, the core Bluetooth delegate callback. So these are the last two objects we need to think about, which is the CBCentralManagerDelegate and the CBPeripheralDelegate. These are basically objects or delegate methods that an object is going to implement in order to respond to certain events happening. And again, we'll look at how delegates work in a second if you don't know, but iOS calls these, you implement them. So a CB manager needs to have a delegate. Now, that delegate could just be the object that is a CB manager, or it could be a different object. So our CB manager delegate is going to have did update status, did discover some peripheral, did fail to connect, and did disconnect peripheral, right? So these are the kind of like the different things that can happen to this device. Then the peripheral delegate, these are delegate methods that are going to handle certain events relating to the peripheral. So let's say we discovered services. This is going to happen. Did discover characteristics, did update value for, did write value for, and did update notification state for. So again, we'll get more into these, but essentially your CB peripheral is going to have some delegate. Your CB manager is going to have some delegate that allows you to define how you want to respond to certain events. All right, now let's look at how delegates actually work in a little bit of an abstract way. So essentially, bare bones, minimal understanding. You have your code. Your code is going to do something. That do something is going to make something actually happen somewhere else, such as on the iOS hardware. Maybe it's making an API call, whatever. Elsewhere, something happens. Eventually, that thing gets done. Now, in this example, I wanted to show a thing could happen and you just get a return value, but you could have a thing happens and some results are found during that thing happen. Maybe you could have a result A, or you could have result B, or you just have one result that you're passing back, whatever. Let's just say you got result A, result B, emerge as this thing happens. Then a delegate is basically a function that gets executed when that thing is done. And it'll contain whatever results or whatever information or whatever things take place, right? And so in here, it's like, okay, well, if result is A, then let's respond to A. If result is B, let's respond to B, right? That's just showing that things that happen here can transcend this boundary. But essentially, there's a key difference between a traditional function that you would write and a callback is a function that's going to get executed when some event happens. You're going to call functions, right? You're going to write, okay, let's call this function, and you know when that function happens. Whereas with a callback, you don't know when that happens. You just know it's going to happen when something completes, right? You know it's going to happen on the completion of some event or on the occurrence of some event, right? And then you're just defining how you're going to respond to it. So function, you control when it is called and what it does, whereas a callback, you do not control when it's called. You do control what it does. It defines how an object should respond to an event. So if we come up here, we have a simple example of what this might look like. Let's say you have a peripheral, right? A programmatic representation of your ESP32, and you say, okay, let's discover the services on this peripheral. And what those are, we'll talk about the GATT structure later. That's a whole other thing. But, let's say like a thermostat, it has a temperature service, right? And so let's discover the services, right? That service is on your hardware device, but you need to move that service into a representation on your iPhone. When you call discover services, that iPhone is going to go out to your ESP32 or whatever, and it's going to wait for that information to come back, right? So that it can write that to its services. Now, where this is happening, that's that other thing taking place. So essentially we call discover services, that sends out a request. We have this waiting period, and then when that comes back, that's where this did discover services event takes place. Since we're doing a scan video, show that in the scan process, you can call scan peripherals with services, right? That's going to say you have an iPhone, and let's say we call this function. We've got our ESP32 over here, and it's advertising its presence. Your iPhone is going to send out a signal that says, hey, are there any ESP32s? Oh, hey, here's one. I found one. Now, at that moment that we called, this is that other event taking place. This information comes back. That's where then we have this did discover peripheral callback get executed. So that wraps up the basics of core Bluetooth and kind of the fundamentals that you need to understand of what is a central, what is a peripheral, what are these main objects at play as we try to represent all of this programmatically in Swift with core Bluetooth. And if you want to get started with core Bluetooth in less than 15 minutes to get your own prototype up and running, check out the link in the description below to get a free starter kit right now. See you next time, folks.